Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Fiverr Talks, everybody. Guess what we're doing today? Gig reviews. For the first time ever on the channel, 4 lucky viewers will have their gigs reviewed by me right here, candid, on the spot. We're going to go through, see what they can improve together, and hopefully it will help you with your gigs. That's right, you've been asking, and I've been promising since the beginning of the year. Today, we're finally going to crack into our gig reviews series. This is something I hope to do about every month or so. Don't hold me to that, but we're going to do it regularly. These are 4 viewers that have sent me their gigs and asked me to review it. So I'm not just pulling random people out of the interwebs and reviewing their gigs just because I think it's fun. So everything I'm going to say today is constructive criticism. Things I want to help them through, ways that I think that they can improve. So I hope you see it as that. I hope you don't see it as something that is mean-spirited. This is something that is meant to help. It is constructive criticism. It is love and support, because by showing each other these things we can improve, we're truly helping each other out. If you would like to have your gig reviewed just like this, then you can fill out the Google form in the link down below in the video description. I will take a look at these, and every month or so I'm going to pick out 3, 4, maybe even 5 gigs to talk about just like this on the channel, and I think it will really help you if it's your gig. And if it's not your gig, I really think it'll help you to examine your gig pages a little bit further. And before we jump into things today, I thought I'd just address the elephant in the room. There is no hat upon my head, and I know many of you are going to mention that. All right, back to things that really matter. Today's gig reviews. Like I said, I've got 4 of these lined up. I'm going to go through them just candidly. I've looked at these pages before, but I haven't done a deep analysis, and this is quite the fun bunch of sellers we've got today. There are many different services that are going to be encompassed in these 4 gigs. We're going to start out here with Enrique Cardenas. Enrique Cardenas is a level 2 seller, and his main gig has 72 reviews with an average rating of 4.9 stars. Enrique, that's pretty good. I'll notice just first thing, his profile picture is really good. I mean, this is excellent. Enrique, you're selling architectural services, 3D renderings. You've got a nice suit tie. This is shoulders up. You look really excellent in this picture. You're happy. You're personable. It's a great background. This is an excellent profile picture, people. If you are looking for a great profile picture to model after, look at Enrique's. Great job on that. Now, just going back up to the top of the big gig page, the first thing that catches my eye is this architectural rendering right here, which is what he's offering. But when I read the title to his gig, it's a little off. You know, every single Fiverr gig starts with the phrase or the words "I will" to start your selling phrase, and it says "I will architecture design in Revit and 3D renders in Lumion." Enrique, you need to write that out a little more clearly. You will what? Architectural designs in Revit and 3D renders in Lumion. You will design, you will create, you will render. What are you doing? Help people understand that a little bit more. And I would say that you might not even need these, I'm assuming they're software names, Revit and 3D renders in Lumion. You might not even need those, or maybe even shorten it up. I will create architectural designs in Revit and Lumion. I don't think you need to write 3D renders. I don't know how specific you need to be. Research it a little, but try to shorten it as much as you can. Be specific, but make that phrase a little bit better. And then, of course, my eye is drawn, like I said, down to these architectural designs, these renderings. And if you go through the first few, they look great. But then as you get into, these are the ones that Enrique has posted. He's put up there himself. And then when you get to the 4th image, the first client view, it's not as captivating. So I would say, Enrique, when you're delivering your orders, when you're delivering gigs, make sure that the portfolio image that you're sending is something that captures the way that these first 3 pictures do, because these first 3 graphics are great, but then this one just kind of drops me. And this one, it's also a little different. But then you have a great one here. Make sure that you're uploading, things that are more interesting to your viewers, to your buyers, that is your potential buyers. And then we've got some schematics. It's a little confusing for me. We've got blueprints, we've got layouts, we've got 3D renderings. It's kind of all over the place. Maybe the service is, but I'd like to see more consistency in there. And as most people have already noticed, the very first item in this portfolio here, this window, is not a video. If you've watched this channel any amount of time, you know this should be a video. Enrique, I don't care if you're selling architectural design. I don't care if you'll never do anything on video. You need a video right here at the top of your gig page with you in it, talking about your service. You need to go deeper with a video. Go back and watch our videos, my videos on how to create a great gig video. It's an absolute must. You're missing out. And you're missing out on the search results because you don't have a video. So then we scroll down to the gig description, and you could almost miss it if you're not paying attention, because the gig description looks like it's only about 3 sentences, 4 sentences long. Enrique, this is not long enough. Your gig description tells me nothing about you. In fact, it blends into the image file format right underneath it. I would like to see a lot more up here about what you're doing, rather than seeing that you love to draw and you're proficient in 2D drafting and 3D rendering. Talk about your experience. Talk about what you've done. Talk about what you could bring to the client. You've got, that you've been doing this for over 5 years. Contact you for more information. Highlight who you are, what you're offering, why people should hire you instead of somebody else in this niche, in this field, and then maybe go through your pricing structure. Go through how your pricing works. I like the labels that you've come up with, but they're a little inconsistent as well. Over here, for the basic, standard, and premium package, you've got the basic is fast and easy. Standard is 2D and 3D, and premium is the full package. But premium also includes 2D and 3D plus a post-production print. I don't see a lot of consistency in these pricing tiers either. I see that your pricing is broken up in a way that seems okay, 50 to 95 to 165. It's a little lopsided. I'm not sure, the increments don't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I'm not familiar with your field enough to comment there. But it just seems like your titles, fast and easy, 2D, 3D, full package, those don't go together either. So rethink how you're packaging things. Rethink the way you're presenting this 3-package system, because this is so important on Fiverr. Help people to understand that with each package, they're getting something a little more. That maybe your basic is this component, but your standard is this component plus another component, but your premium is those 2 components plus another 1 or 2 components. It's something that builds on each other, and the pricing makes that obvious. So I think that could be dramatically improved in your case. So we're working on the title. We're getting you a gig video. We're making our portfolio deliverables a little bit more consistent. We're rethinking the way you have these packages listed and priced and all these things. Make sure that you're doing it in the best possible way to help people see why they should upgrade. And then as we go farther down, we see these packages kind of restated. This kind of makes my point that these could be a little more, they could be a little bit more defined, I think is the way I would put it, because I see a lot of things that are involved in the standard package also over here. And I only see one thing that isn't, that's post-production print ready. I think that's something you need to make a little more obvious. Is it worth that extra $70 to have that post-production print ready? Maybe it is, but make sure they see how that builds on each other. I would like to see something a little shorter here. This is something that people often get way too long with, this kind of description of who you are. This stuff you can't control here, but this is you. You're the CEO architect of Makar Architecture in Lima, Peru. This is great. I would lead with this in your gig description. Tell people that you're a CEO of an architectural firm. Don't go too far into detail. You don't need to put contact me to start down there. That doesn't make any sense. You need that up there. And if you need people to contact you and not just place an order, put that at the top. Please contact me before placing your order. Might be something you want to do. So all these things I think would help you in the long run. Your ratings seem to be good. You've got one-star rating. That's kind of, that's a throwaway review. 1-star ratings are garbage because people who leave 1-star ratings aren't leaving a real opinion or experience. I'm sure people provide 1-star services, but we'll just throw that one away. Other than that, your reviews are great. I think you can do a lot of improvement here to make your gig more visible and to make it easier for people to find you. So there you go, Enrique. That is your gig review. Good luck with the changes you're going to make. All right, our next viewer to have their gig reviewed is Tushar Gupta 453. He is offering Google AdWords work. His gig title is, I will set up, manage, and optimize Google Ads PPC campaign. Tushar, I would say something similar that we said to Enrique. I would optimize this title a little bit more. I realize you're trying to get some things in there, but words like set up, manage, and optimize really don't need to be there. It's a little long for a title. I would choose one word. I will blank Google Ads, your Google Ads and PPC campaign, something. I will create, I will manage, I will optimize. Choose one. I think that those three things are probably making your title too long and therefore hurting you a little bit. We'll go down here and look at your profile picture. It's great that it's a view. I think it's a little wide of a crop. We need a little tighter crop on your face because this is a tiny little, look at how tiny this is here. Yeah, we really can't tell who you are. Whereas like Enrique's, he had a great profile picture that you could see who he was, even in small format. So again, I'm going to say first thing, Tushar, you do not have a gig video. You need a gig video. However you need to shoot it, it will help your gig to have a gig video. People are buying not a service, they're buying from a seller. That's you. So you need a gig video. I love that even in a gig like optimizing Google AdWords campaigns, you have these great portfolio images that help people see like, hey, look at the things I'm doing. Look at this. Oh, this growth right here. I assume that was you. That was your work. So great job on that. Keep doing that. Looks like your ratings are pretty good. And you have a pretty robust gig description. I would like to see some things cut out of this. First of all, you don't need attention business owners. Whoever's on your page is already, you have their attention. You don't need to say attention business owners. I'm not even sure you need to ask these questions because again, if they're on your page, they've already answered yes. I would start here. I'm a certified Google Ads individual with 5+ years of experience. I'd use that. I'd highlight it. I love that it's bold. Highlight it. Make it its own line. Stuff like that. Really make these things apparent. This format here, things get lost in this paragraph format. Make me some bullets. I love how you've done that down here. Maybe format this a little better where benefits is bigger. These things maybe have some highlights. Highlight, highly optimized campaign, conversion optimization, transform your sales. Get rid of little words like this because you're really trying to optimize this. You want a longer gig description to describe as much as you can. They may not read it all, but the information is there to fall back on and help you if you have any issues. So I like the information that's in here. Format it a little differently so it's more interesting. And I think that, you should probably put some things like this if you want people to contact you first up at the top, maybe all caps, highlight, get their attention. Let's look over here at your 3 packages, your basic, standard, and premium. Basic, you're getting started. Standard, you're building your business. Premium, you're scaling your business. This is really good. I like this because this makes sense to me that basic, you're just getting started. Standard, you're building it up. In premium, you're scaling things. This makes sense. Really good job on these 3 scalable metrics here. You've got the prices of 5, 30, and 60. I see for 5, I get keywords research, 3-day delivery, 2 suggestions. Then we're going up, building your business. You get 4 suggestions here on 7-day delivery. Then you get 30 days. There's 8 suggestions. I do see, you go 2, 4 to 8 with your suggestions. Each one, they're getting the same deal. They're getting effective keyword research, campaign sign up, ad extensions, all these things. And they get a different length of time. So I think bravo, really good job on this. I would take some of this information and put it at the end of your gig description. Here's how I can help you. I can help you scale your business. I can help you get started. I can help you build, and I can help you scale. Talk about this in your gig description because if you catch somebody's eye over here, they might continue to read there versus going over to the side at the 3-tier package. So all in all, I think you've done a great job. Even look at here. I think underneath your description, you have a really concise bio. This is great. I'm a certified digital marketer, expert in PPC advertising, copywriting, and SEO, 5+ years of experience in digital marketing. Let's take your business to the next level and dominate your competition. That is great. So great job on that. I would also say go back into your gig description and look at the way you're writing these sentences. You've written them correctly down here, but look at how many capitalized words you have in here. Every word is capitalized. That's grammatically incorrect. Maybe use all caps to catch somebody's attention, but go back to regular case when you're writing. Don't capitalize the beginning of every word. It's grammatically incorrect. That's something you definitely want to correct. So Tushar, I think you have the beginnings of a great gig page here. Make some tweaks, and I think it could be even better. And maybe you'll get that 4.7 star average up to a 5 star or 4.9 star, something like that eventually. So thanks for letting me review your gig. Our next viewer to have their gig reviewed is Ahmad Khan. Ahmad is a level 1 seller, and he is selling web design services. Ahmad, you know what I'm going to say after watching the first two? No gig video, Ahmad. Get yourself a gig video, the first thing. But even though you don't have a gig video, I like the fact that you have a really concise page here or an image that tells people what you're doing. Now, I will say that I think it's a little strange that you have a different profile pic here than you do here. I also would say that your profile picture, your main profile picture, needs some help. It's like an up and down landscape photo from a phone that doesn't cover the whole circle. It needs to be a little closer, a little more professional. You're on a really dark background. You need to be on a background where they can actually see your body and your face, outline, things like that. So make those improvements, get yourself a video. But if you're not going to have a video, have one profile picture that is the face of your brand. Okay, make yourself known, make it the face of your brand. You also have 16 gigs here, 16 completed gigs with a 5-star review, and yet you only have 1 gig portfolio listing. This is something you really need to work on. I know it's hard because it's not up to you what displays there, but you have to try to get your customers to allow those things to display in your portfolio. You need to have more work showing there. And out of 16, I would expect that you have at least 8, maybe 10 or 12, different portfolio displays here. I think that's something you really need to work hard on. And even though this is a great representation of your work, it is very hard to see what's going on here. So I like the fact that I can see the whole page, but I also wish that it filled more of this screen when I saw it, when I looked at it. So maybe think about delivering several screenshots as a part of your deliverable, since it's a website. Think about screenshots that could fill that, because you want people to see this beautiful page that you've designed. And while they can imagine, if they look at this, it's kind of hard to see because it's such a tall portfolio sample. So I would say try that. Down to your gig description, this is a strange way to start your gig description. I'm just going to say that. Hey, they're already here. You don't need to say hi. You also have a similar issue as our last viewer and his gig. You've capitalized all these words and sentences. And you've also got some grammatical typos or errors here. You don't need spaces between your sentence and your question mark. Do a little bit better with your grammar and writing and formatting. I think that will help a lot. I don't think you need to say things like, hey, or let me introduce myself. I think you should start with, I'm an experienced WordPress web designer. There you go. Tell us about your experience. I want to see more about why they should hire you. A little bit more about your experience. Don't say you're experienced. Show us you're experienced. Here are some ideas you might be looking for. That may be okay for keywords, but probably not going to be super effective. Make this about the service you're offering. Work these keywords into the service you're offering. Talk about the things you can do for them. This is great down here. Professional modern design, beautiful carousels and sliders, heroes and call out action sections, things like that. Those are really great things. But I think you need to highlight this a bit more. Use highlights, use all caps. You've got some positives, some bold items here, but there's just a little bit too much blah in this gig description. We don't need a signature on the end. They're on your gig page. They already know who you are. And check your grammar on things like, I will highly recommend you to discuss the overall workflow and ideas before placing the order. Again, before is capitalized, it shouldn't be. Order's capitalized, it shouldn't be. So tweak out your grammar. Make sure your sentence structure is good. Use tools like Grammarly to make sure that they're better. If you want them to contact you before, say, please contact me before placing an order. That's as simple as it needs to be, and put that at the top. Don't put it at the bottom. Most people aren't getting to the bottom. Let's look at your packages. Your packages, okay, so we've got basic, standard, which is recommended, and plus. If you're not going to have creative names for these, I would just stick with basic, standard, and premium. I would call them basic, standard, and premium down here in the title section. And I can see that you're building a little bit more on each one. This one only has 2 pages, design customization, 2 plugins. This one's 4 pages. You get all this stuff. This one's 5 pages. But I got to say, Amand, I've been in web design. I've sold web design on Fiverr. If you're advertising a 2-page website for $15, there's really a very small level of credibility that comes with that. A website for $15, I mean, think about what you're making on that. You're making $12. I would encourage you to raise your prices, because I don't think you're going to get many hits on a $15. Like, if you're experienced, if you're good, you should cost more than $15 to create a 2-page website. I wouldn't answer someone's email for $15 if that was a service on Fiverr. You need to build your credibility, show your experience by pricing yourself appropriately. And I just think $15 is too cheap for something like that, for someone to take you seriously. Again, you're offering to build a 5-page website in a week for $100. It all seems a little low for the service you're offering. If you're really great, the price should be higher. So think about that when you're thinking about how people perceive you. People coming to this web page, you want them to see a video. You want them to see you. You want them to see your experience, and you want that to reflect in everything from your description all the way to your pricing. And if your pricing's too low and it makes people scratch their head, they go, could they really be any good if they're offering to build a website for $15? Those are the questions you want to avoid. And for you, I would highly recommend, we've got this long description down here. I think you ought to take out some of these things, again, a little formatting issues. There's no spaces here, all this stuff. Make it more simplistic. Make it about you. Make it 2 or 3 sentences. And you should probably put an FAQ section on this site, on this page, because people are going to have a lot of questions about how you actually sell website design services on Fiverr, and you could answer them right here, and it would make a lot of sense. So make sure that you check that out, and if you can add some frequently asked questions and the answers, that might really help you. All right, our 4th and final gig for today that we're going to review comes from Master Bravo, and he is a video editor. So let's check it out together. Master Bravo, I'll be your YouTube channel professional video editor. I would work on that title a little bit. Maybe drill it down to, I'll edit your YouTube video. I'll professionally edit your YouTube video. I'll be your professional video editor. Make it something more short and to the point. I love the fact that you have a video. I did watch your video before this shooting of the gig review thing that I'm doing right here. I would say that you need to punch it up a little bit. If you're going to sell video editing services, make this your best work. Make sure it covers everything you could possibly want to offer to a client. All the bells and whistles, all the elements. Make it faster, snappier, just a little bit more catchy, and I think that it will really serve you well. So take time, spend a week or 2 doing this gig video. Make it as good as you can possibly make it, because it is, as a video editor, it is proof of your ability. So work on that just a little bit. I love the fact that you've got some samples here of videos that you've worked on. You've done some YouTube video editing for people. I love that your portfolio is full. That's a huge, huge deal. Even though you've only got 19 orders here, you've got a lot of portfolio samples. So that's great. When I come down to your gig description, I see a lot of information that we just don't need here. This is a long description, and if you read it, it basically says turnaround times are extended because I'm too busy. Well, you say that your normal turnaround time is 24 hours. There's absolutely no way that you can offer a professional video editing services as one person consistently in 24 hours. That's just ridiculous. What if somebody gives you a 20-minute video to edit? There's no way you can turn around that in 24 hours. I'm in the industry. It seems crazy. So get your turnaround times to a more appropriate place to where you're not being rushed out. I don't think you need that statement. I think you need to fix your turnaround times. So think about that. Think about adjusting those. I think 21 days where you're at right now, that's probably too long. I couldn't wait 3 weeks for a video to come back to me. So work on that. You don't need statements like, hi, thanks for passing by. You don't need to really introduce yourself. They're on your gig page. They know who you are. Maybe go right into your skills and abilities, what sets you apart, why they should hire you over someone else. You spend a lot of time here talking about things you can do for them, but these are things they know. They know that if you're an editor, you can put in text animations, transitions, zoom in and zoom out, subtitles. I think that's a given. Talk about who you are. Talk about who you are and what sets you apart from other video editors. Talk about your experience. Don't say things like, I'm online 24/7. That is incorrect. You sleep. You're not online 24/7. You will not get back to them while you're sleeping. You also say that you offer unlimited revisions. I've said many times before, that's a really bad idea, especially in an arena like video editing, where it's so subjective to the other person's opinion. You may do good work and they may say, hey, I think you should do these 47 other things. Don't offer something that's unlimited. Again, you're devaluing your service. I like the last gig. I would suggest that you look at your prices. You're offering to do up to a 6-minute videos, a 6-minute video, up to 30 minutes of footage provided for $10. You're going to walk away with $8. You're going to make like $1 an hour. It's going to take you a whole day and you'll make $8. That doesn't say great things to potential customers. They don't look at this and go, wow, he must be really good. He's working for $1 an hour. That's crazy. I think that you need to look at raising your prices. Again, you're willing to look through an hour of footage for $20. You're going to walk away after Fiverr takes their cut. You're going to walk away with $16. This just isn't a recipe for success. And when I look at a gig page like this, I look at the unlimited revisions. I'm online 24/7. It all screams that you're a little bit desperate. And I'm saying that from a place of love. Don't make yourself look desperate in your gig page. Don't say, I'll do anything. I'll be anyone. I'll give you as many revisions as you want. No, that's not how you offer a professional service. Set your standards a little bit higher. Do yourself a favor. Put some limits on things. Charge a little bit more. Talk about what hours you're online, because it's not 24/7. That's a lie. You can't be online 24/7. And just make it look more like you are the experienced professional that you advertise to be. That you are the person who does good work, but doesn't do crazy work at all hours of the night in one day. That's something that I think you can probably improve upon, and it'll help your brand image, your personal brand on Fiverr. Your profile picture. I think your eyes are almost closed, bro. I think maybe you should get another profile picture. You're a little too close. We've talked a lot about profile pictures being too far away. This one's a little too close. Put some shoulders in there, cut chest up, things like that. Open your eyes, smile with your teeth, things like that, so people can see your real personality. We see it up here in your video. We see a much different you right there. That's a better profile picture. Just crop that out right there. But this one, you look a little sad, your eyes are closed, and it's too close to your face. I think here, again, you don't need to say hi. Maybe you can introduce yourself, but you don't need to sell somebody. If you want high quality work and fast delivery with reasonable prices, don't hesitate to contact me. You're not selling people in your bio. You're telling them about yourself. I don't think there's one thing about you in this bio other than your name. Talk about your qualifications. Talk about your experience. Don't try to give a sales pitch or a marketing pitch in your bio. So hopefully that helps. Again, I think your gig would benefit from an FAQ section. Answer some frequently asked questions about pricing and turnaround and what you can do. And all of that will make your gig better. Whew, that was a lot of gigs to review. That went a little longer than I thought it would, but I thought this would be a great way for us to kick off the gig review series, dive deep into 4 gigs and let you see what that would be like. Hopefully that was helpful to you. And again, if you'd like to have your gig reviewed, just fill out the form down below and I'll consider it for one of our future videos. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. So if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to give this video a like. And if you're new, consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button. Put a new video out every single Monday and then a Q&A with your questions on Thursday. You don't want to miss that. Until next time, folks, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.